Baltimore County 4th graders. It's Miss Christie and Therapy Dog Bonnie with the Pet Responsibility Committee. And we are here to bring you lesson 4 of your Pet Responsibility class. And this is just going to be a mini lesson, okay? And by the way, we're going to link the Pet Responsibility website below, so make sure you check it out. And you can review the entire lesson, but this is just a mini lesson of what's going to be in the website. Okay, so some of you may have your folders. If you don't, that's okay. But if you do have your folder, you can pull it out, and at the bottom, you remember we have all of our lessons and our I can statements. So lesson 4 I can statement says, I can make a responsible decision about providing for a pet for its entire life. So, before we dig into our lesson, you're going to find, when you look at our website, there's a paper that says Safety for You and Your Pet. This is just a review of Lesson 3, where we talked about keeping our pets healthy and safe. It's pretty easy. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's got things about the 5 basic commands and how you should avoid eye contact with a strange dog, and always walk your dog on a what, kids? Leash. That's right. Right, Bonnie? Always on a leash. So, check it out later. Alright, so let's pretend you've decided that you want to get a puppy or a kitten. So, on our website, you will find a page that looks like this. But let's discuss for a few minutes. Do I want a puppy? Do I know how to train it? A dog does need proper training. Have I got the time for it? You need to make sure you have plenty of time to give your dog or your cat. Have I researched the breed? Some dog breeds require a lot of grooming or brushing. Others require a tremendous amount of exercise. So you need to make sure you check it out before you purchase or adopt a dog. Will it fit into my life in 2, 5, or 7 years? Remember, it's a long commitment to get a pet. Is this a family decision? Is everybody on board with the idea of getting a new pet? Maybe mom or dad are not quite sure if this is the right time. Have to respect that. Maybe someone in your family is allergic to dogs or cats. You need to think about a lot of things before getting a pet. Can I afford to insure it? Can I afford to feed it? You need to give it nutritious food, right? You also need to make sure you take it to the vet once a year or more often if it's sick, just like with people. And sometimes you need to purchase medicine for your pet, so that's important as well. Do I have time to walk it or play with it? Again, some dogs need a lot of exercise, and please play with your dogs and your cats. Cats don't need to be walked, but they need to be played with. Am I prepared for the bad bits? The pee, the poo, the chewing, yuck, the yucky stuff. It all comes along with being a responsible pet owner. This is putting Bonnie right to sleep. Can I give a lifetime commitment to it? Remember, you're committing not to your lifetime, but the pet's lifetime. Right, Bonnie Boo? So at the bottom says, the answer to any of these questions is no, you don't need a puppy. Sometimes being responsible means not getting a pet. I was actually 12 years old when I got my first puppy because my dad was in the military and we moved a lot. Okay, so would you like to hear a little bit more about Barney and Snowball? If you remember, Barney is a little black cat that was owned by an older woman, and she passed away, and no one in the family could take care of Barney, so he was turned into the shelter looking for a home. Snowball, pretty Snowball, she was the 1-year-old female pit bull mix, and remember, she was dirty, she was covered in fleas and ticks, and if you'll remember, there was one other thing we learned about Snowball. she was pregnant. Remember that? She had all those puppies that we nicknamed snowflakes. Look at that. Well, the good news is that everyone has been adopted. The puppies got adopted, and Barney and Snowball too. So Barney, the little black cat, got adopted by a boy named Mason. Now, he was a fourth grader that had just finished the pet responsibility class. And during that class, he learned that dark or black dogs and cats don't get adopted as quickly as lighter colored ones. Anybody know why? It's a simple reason. They just don't show up. If you notice, you can hardly see Barney. You can hardly see him. So if you were to go to the shelter and look for a black dog or cat, you might not notice them as much because a lot of times the pets are in the back of the crates and they're nervous and they're shy and they just don't show up because they're dark colored. So let's look at Snowball. She was adopted too. She was adopted by Mason's friend named Michelle. She actually found Snowball in the newspaper. Every week there's a section in the Pilot newspaper called the Pet of the Week. It comes out on Wednesdays, and I wanted to show you a sample. Now don't get excited, these pets have all been adopted. These are old pictures. But every Wednesday in the Pilot newspaper you'll find pets that are available for adoption. So check it out sometime. So that's good news, right? They got adopted. We're very happy about that. All right, so you get your puppy or your kitten. Now let's talk about things that you might need for your pet. All right, here's a worksheet you'll find again on our website. I hope you check it out. Things you will need for your pet. Cost for Snowball, item for your pet, and the cost for Barney. So obviously the cost for a dog and a cat. And it lists several things, and I want you to try to guess how much you think these items might cost. And then the answers are also on our website. So let's just go through a few of them. So if you adopt a dog or a cat from the animal shelter, it will get a spay or neuter, so it won't have unwanted puppies or kittens. It will get microchipped, that's that little chip that helps to identify the pet. And it also will get a rabies shot, which as you remember is required by law. Okay, let's dig in. So once a month, you're going to need to give your pet heartworm and flea medication. Remember this, Bonnie? Bonnie thinks the heartworm medication is just a dog treat, so don't tell her any different. Once a month they need those things. We talked about them in a different lesson. They also need a proper collar. Make sure it fits correctly. Not too big, not too small. With an ID tag. So important. I can't stress the importance of this little ID tag. So many times in Moore County, people lose their dogs and cats and they don't have any identification on them. So make sure you have that for your pet. Leashes. Remember, we need to walk our dog on a leash. So I have a nice long, thick leash for a dog the size of Bonnie. It's about a 6-foot leash. Very important. She's thinking, oh, are we going to go? Not right now, Bonnie Boo. So that's really important so your dog doesn't wander off. Litter and litter box. Of course you don't need a litter box for your dog, but if you have an indoor cat, you need a litter box. And clean it often because cats like to be clean. Water and food dish, basic. You need one for each. And during these hot months, I might want to add, make sure you clean that water bowl out and change it out often because we're getting ready to get into the summer months and they need fresh water available all the time. Bedding is the next thing. You need to give your pet proper bedding. It could be a bed that you purchase, or it could be an old blanket, just something cozy for your dog or your cat to call their own space. Okay, brushes. Brushes are important because your pet needs to be groomed. Now you might not realize the significance of this, but keeping your pet groomed or brushed will help to keep them clean. It will help to keep them from shedding so much because, well, it won't keep them from shedding so much, but it'll get rid of a lot of that extra fur, okay, and keeps it off your floors and off your furniture. You can see Bonnie actually likes to be brushed, don't you, Bonnie? Yeah, you like that. So there's all kinds of brushes you can get. You need to get what's appropriate for the kind of pet that you have. And cats need to be groomed as well. All right, and the last thing is Bonnie's favorite toys. So let's pretend you get that little puppy, and puppies chew a lot, right? So if you don't give them something to chew on, they'll find something. So we have a small nylabone here. Check it out, Bonnie Boo. Now this is too small for Bonnie, but this is perfect for a puppy. They love to chew, and this is just right. As it gets bigger, you might want to graduate to a larger one. Just checking everything out. And then Bonnie has a really big nylabone, and she still likes to chew on those even today. She has a strong urge to chew. So in addition to that, you might want to get a good old rubber ball that you can go play ball with out back. Throw the ball. Dogs love to chase, and they most of the time will bring it back. Sometimes they don't. That's something you can work on. But give them something to do. You don't want to use a baseball, something hard, but you can use a ball like this or even a tennis ball. The next thing, this is one of Bonnie's favorites. Now, this is a stuffed animal. We call it Lammy. And inside there's a squeaker. If I squeak this, she likes that. And what she wants to do is chew on it. Dogs love to tear these things up. And she will open it up, get the stuffing out, get the squeaker out. So if you have a dog that loves toys like this, please don't give it anything while you are not around, okay? Make sure you don't give them a toy like this if you're not there to supervise, all right? So I'm going to put that away so she doesn't see it. Toys are important because our pets get bored. And when you get bored, you play video games. You might get on your Chromebooks, your parents' iPads or yours, iPhones, cell phones. Our pets can't do that, so they need something to stimulate their brains and to get that energy out. So toys are really important. The last thing on the list is training. Training is vital, very important for a dog. It's not required for a cat, but they need lots of love and play. So check this out on our website to find out what it costs about for these items. All right, so you get the dog, you get the cat. Let's talk about how long our pets live, what kind of a commitment we're going to have. Remember, we said it's a lifetime commitment. So check it out. Look at this top picture of the boy and his puppy. 10 years later, the boy is now a man and a dog. Of course, I picked a golden retriever to share with you since Bonnie's a golden. But look at that. That's a big dog. All right? So that's 10 years. It's a long time to have a pet. Check this out. The little girl and her puppy, and 14 years later, look at the dog and the young woman. They both changed a lot. Notice they're in the same position in the pictures. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Check this out. Say you're going to get a cat. Indoor cats especially live a long time. Look at this. The boy and his beautiful gray cat. And here he is later, 17 years old. Wow, 17 years old. That's a lot of time to take care of a pet. So that brings me to this page that you'll find on our website. How long pets live? This is the actual lifespan, approximate lifespan, of most of these pets here. Let's say you have a hamster. Lots of you like hamsters, I know. I used to have one. The average hamster lives to be about 3 years old. So for consistency with my activity, let's pretend you're all 10. Some of you might be 9, 10, even 11, but for my activity, you're all 10 today. So if you get a hamster and it lives to be 3 years old and you're 10 years old, how old will you be when it passes away? 13. So how about a goldfish? They live for 5 years. So if you're 10 years old when you get a goldfish and the goldfish lives 5 years, how old will you be? What kind of commitment is that? You'll be 15. And there's a whole list. We have a rabbit, cat, medium dog, horse. Did you know a horse lives to be 30 years old? If you get a horse when you're 10, you're going to be 40 years old. That's a long time, a lot of commitment. So check this page out on our website. Another fun thing to look at is to match the pet with the number of years it may live. You'll find this on our website as well. Now you see my answers here, so I'm not going to let you zoom in too close. So the bottom line of today's activity is to think about the commitment that you're going to make when you decide you want a pet. All right? So the next time you see an adorable cat like Hazel with his beautiful green eyes, or you see a sweet fluffy puppy like Dudley, you need to make sure that everyone in the family is ready to bring home that pet and to make that lifelong commitment, the life of the animal. And by the way, Dudley is a Great Pyrenees. So although he's a little puppy here, when he's full grown, he's going to weigh about 100 pounds. Just to give you an idea, Bonnie weighs about 60 pounds, so that's almost twice as big as she is. So there are a lot of things to think about. So I hope you enjoyed our mini lesson, and stay tuned because we'll be doing lesson 5, and please go on the Moore County Pet Responsibility website and check out our lesson in its entirety. You can print out the worksheets, or you could just do them on a piece of paper, whatever you want to do. All right? We hope you've had fun. Take care of those pets. Bye.